Do you want to know how to create any sword? Then, how to texture this sword in a few steps in Blender without wasting time? I spent the last 2 weeks exploring Blender's tools and I found the best way to model any sword. So just watch till the end. Firstly, you need to decide which kind of sword you want to make. It might be low poly, detailed, stylized, fantasy-like, or even realistic. Next, find a good reference online, or just draw a simple sketch. Here's the reference I got. The next step is to analyze the sword structure by simplifying it into basic shapes. For example, the blade's top is just a small triangle, and the other part is a larger triangle, which can be deformed to get this curves. The handle is just a cylinder. The crossguard is a simple rectangle which can be deformed like a curve, and this part down here is just a torus with a filled interior. Now let's hop in Blender. By the way, down here, you can see the keyboard shortcuts I am using. Select everything and delete. Then, drag and drop your reference into the scene view, and let's start with the blade. Add a plane and move the reference backwards. In front view, move the plane and edit the edges to cover up the blade in the reference. Add a vertical loop cut and delete one side of the plane. It's better to do one side and then mirror it. Now, move this edge near to the reference and make sure the vertices match the reference. Move this vertex to the closest curving point on the reference, and this is the basic shape from which we shall continue. Now, many people don't know about this tool I'm about to show you. Press F3 or spacebar and search Extend Vertex, and remember its shortcut. Then use that shortcut from the selected vertex to trace the shape you want. It automatically recalculates the other vertices to complete the shape. Next, add a mirror modifier on the corresponding axis and check it to make sure there's no clipping. Apply the mirror modifier. In edit mode, if you select this edge and bevel it, it cuts the tip of the sword. So, first add 2 vertices and move both of them upwards to where the small triangle should be on the sword. Now select only this edge and bevel it. This forms the triangle at the top. Select this edge and scale it up on the x-axis. You can now adjust the triangle. Extrude all slightly, and then select only the inner faces. Shift S and set cursor to selected, then change the pivot point to 3D cursor. Next, scale it on the y-axis. This shit happens because there are 2 vertices at the same position, so select everything and merge by distance. Now reselect the inner faces and scale on the y-axis. Select all these faces except the bottom ones, and scale them down to get sharp side edges. Also, select the top edge, reset the pivot point, and use proportional editing to scale down on the y-axis only. With cavity enabled, you can clearly see the edges, but without cavity enabled, you need to shade smooth, then select the edges you want and mark sharp. The blade is done. To create the crossguard, select a face here and set the cursor to it. You can then add a cube at the cursor's position and scale it correctly. Scale it up on the x-axis and add 5 loop cuts. Move the loop at the center with proportional editing, but it shouldn't affect the blade, so select this with L and press Shift-H to hide everything else. From the front view, you can now move it downwards to curve it, and then adjust some vertices manually to get the exact shape. Unhide everything to see what you got. Now, for the handle, add a cylinder with 12 vertices and scale it to the correct size. Move it to the correct position and adjust its shape to match the reference. For the rings, add loop cuts matching the reference. Select the face loop and duplicate, then extrude and scale up. Select the ring with L, duplicate, and move to the other ring position. Make sure to scale it to the correct size. Now, right-click and shade smooth. For the last part, select this bottom face and set the cursor to that position. Then add a torus of 10 by 10 segments. Rotate on the x-axis and scale it down to the correct size. To fill this, select the inner edge loop and press F. Then, insert with I and move outwards, then shade smooth. You can use the same steps to make any sword you want. Now, the add-on is called Yucca Paint, and this is why you have to use it. It's free. It gives you full control over each layer's properties, making texturing faster and easier. For example, let's take this boring sword and turn it into something beautiful. First, move to UV editing. Select all, press U, and choose Smart UV Project with a low margin. If there's still space, scale up parts of the UV, then move back to the Layout tab. Before you start, Install Yucca Paint by going to Edit, Preferences, and click Install to locate the Yucca Paint file you downloaded. Mine is already installed. Now switch to Texture Painting, press N, and select Yucca Paint. Click the Setup button for a quick start. If you have a reference image, switch to the Image Editor panel and open your reference. To hide the UV, click View and uncheck the option. Click the plus button and add a solid color layer. Name it whatever you want. Use the color picker to grab the color from your reference or choose one from your imagination. This will be the base color of the entire object. You can always adjust these values later to suit your taste. If your reference image disappears, like mine did, simply reopen it and click the pin icon to keep it visible. Now, let's add a new image layer for the golden parts of the sword. We'll use this layer for all the golden elements. In Edit mode, select the crossguard by pressing L. Switch back to Paint mode and enable the mask icon to hide all unselected parts. Now anything you do will only affect this part. Select the bucket tool, choose a yellow color, and apply it. Then disable the mask icon to view the entire model again. To make the gold look realistic, click the drop-down menu and enable metallic and roughness properties. Lower the roughness to give it a shiny metallic look. If the result isn't convincing, enable the override option under roughness and set the value to around 0.1 for better results. That's just one advantage of Yucca Paint. You have complete control over every layer's properties. Now in Edit mode, press Alt-A to unselect all, then pick other parts that should be in gold. Return to Paint mode, enable the mask icon, and apply the same yellow color. Now the gold is starting to shine. Create another layer for the crystal parts of the sword. In Edit mode, select the areas that should have the crystal look, enable the mask, and then choose a color. But before you apply it, save the color in a palette for later use. Use the bucket tool to apply it. To make the crystal parts shiny, go to the drop-down menu, enable metallic, roughness, and the override option, and reduce the roughness for that sparkling look. Don't forget to save your layers with Ctrl+S. Now, let's add some golden strips to the sword. Create a new layer. Enable 32-bit float for more depth, as we'll also use the normal property. Select the yellow color again, enable metallic, roughness, and normal, then adjust the bump value for extra depth. If the paint doesn't wrap around the entire object, toggle the eraser to clean up the layer, then toggle back to the paintbrush. Under the Options tab, uncheck Occlude and Backface Culling to paint on both sides. Disable normal fall-off to avoid gaps, and voila! The strips go all the way around. Now just paint the golden strips. You can also add these two options to your favorites to easily access them just by pressing Q. Let's make the crossguard look better by adding some spots on here. Now, let's finish with the blade. In Edit mode, select this face loop and the side edges. Mask out the rest and create a new image layer for the silver. Since we won't be using the normal property here, disable 32-bit float. Use the color picker to select white, use the bucket tool to apply it. Then remove the mask to see all the textures clearly. Enable metallic, roughness, and override for a sleek, shiny finish. Finally, let's add golden details to the blade. Go back to the gold layer, pick the yellow color from your saved palette, reduce the brush size F, and enable Stabilize Stroke for more control. Select the faces you want to detail and apply the mask. Paint in your golden details to make the sword pop, but don't overdo it, keep it classy. Once you're happy with the result, it's time to bake the texture. Click the gear icon, then Bake All Channels. Increase the samples to 4 for better quality, and hit OK. After baking, you see this, which shows that it's using the baked textures, but in the Shading tab, there's still no texture. So click on this icon here, and back to the Shading tab. All the textures are connected correctly and ready to be used.
You might as well learn how to create an action game in Unreal Engine with 95% discount for this whole bundle of 4 items, or just this course at 90% discount to make an action game. And if you prefer Unity, you can get this whole bundle of courses for just $37 right now. And you get your money back if not satisfied after 30 days. No questions asked. Just use my link in the description to get your discount, and I will see you next time.